What's going on, everyone? Talon back here, and today I want to do a bit of a discussion video concerning the next Extreme Z Awakening. And because we just got Goku and everything, he's obviously really powerful, but its big question is when and who will be the next one, and is it only going to be these leaders? Because there's so many different possibilities when it comes to them doing this type of thing. So first off, I want to get out of the way real quick that I personally think that this was a great step in the right direction. Even if you can't get to the state, I believe it's stage 30, where you can finally get his SA up to 15 because you get the medals and everything like that. You can still farm the medals at certain stages, and you can technically get them to 1/4. I think as long as you can get to stage, I want to say 25. If you can do at least 25, you should be able to farm the medals from there. It's going to be a lot slower. You're not going to get everything. If you're able to get to stage 30, they hand you everything. But if you're only able to get to stage like 25 and then you farm the medals from there, that is, you know, you can still get them that way. You won't get the free Kais that they're going to give you on the orbs and everything like that. So, and it does kind of stink that near the end, year 30, the Extreme Tech team, let's face it, it really can't beat it. But people, again, have been showing that they can beat it with other these random teams and everything like that. So keep your eyes on Twitter, and also go ahead and check out my video that I did on the team building and stuff like that, or just to give you guys a general idea, okay? Everyone's decks are different. There are different ways to do it, but we know for a fact, at least, we know for a fact that a total in-game tech team can take down Goku up to stage 20. We know that for a fact, okay? So no one can say they can't get to stage 10 or 9 or whatever. Be like, no, you can get to stage 20, no problem. So anyway, but the next question is, who's next, right? And why is it only Goku so far? When this originally came out, I already thought to myself, okay, SSJ3 Goku, who else Dokkan Awakened with him? Well, the Strength one did, and I guess to an extent the free-to-play Tech one did, but that one already has a Dokkan Awakened to a TUR, so I don't know if they would do that just yet. They're probably going to use the Angel Goku state, something like that later on, or whatever the case may be. But nonetheless, we finally got, something for the Agility Goku, but it's just like, what about Strength Goku? Why didn't he get the Dokkan Awakened? And for all I know, he could maybe down the line, maybe they're going to add it in after his little promotion thing is done and be like, oh, hey, by the way, you can go back and farm the medals, and you can do it for Strength now. We're not going to give you the orbs and everything, but we are going to at least allow you to, Extreme Z Awaken the guys, which I think would be pretty cool, right? At least allow us to do that and everything, and I think that'd be pretty cool. But then the question comes down to is, how often are they going to do it again, and who's next? So I personally hope that once Goku leaves, his event leaves on the 4th, the 4th of December, where it's not every day, where it's just simply going to be on either the Sundays, which are the Super Days, and Mondays, because those are the Agility Days. So when that comes around, I'm hoping they at least allow us to do it for the Strength Goku as well. And then I'm hoping probably by around Christmas time or so, we have our next one at the very latest January. If they don't do this, if they do this only like once every 4 months, yay, I guess, kind of cool. But it's just like, come on guys, let's pick it up a little bit here, right? You're just simply changing the passive skill. They've been known and they've shown that they can change passive skills and leader skills in the whole 9 yards, no problem. So, I mean, they have the formula set up and everything, right? Like, all the code and everything, for the most part, I would assume, is there for Goku. All you need to do now is simply just add in different types, and then, so, for example, if you take the Intelligence Gohan and things like that, if you take him, then you got to make it, okay, well, the people that are going to hurt him the most are going to be the physical types, and then it's going to be extreme physical down, as you get farther and farther into the stages, and then eventually this category leader or something like that, right? So, we know that's going to happen. So they have the code for already, so they need to be able to do this, and they need to start being able to do this a lot faster. And I'm not saying to do this faster so that we eventually get to the 70% leads and everything. There are a lot of characters that came out before the 70% leads. Not besides the usual original models, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Ultimate Gohan, even Gogeta for that fact. But there are a lot more cards that you could easily say, hey, by the way, you were in this arc or whatever, you were introduced in this arc, so you're going to use these medals. Like, for example, the Tech Majin Vegeta, for example, you could easily Extreme Z Awaken him using the Ultimate Gohan medals, right? Ultimate Gohan is, from the Buu Saga and everything like that. Majin Vegeta is technically from the Buu Saga, so why not? They could do something simple like that, right? Or, I guess for Gogeta, you could also maybe do the Brawl. You could use Brawly's event. If Brawly ever gets that Extreme Z Awakening, I'm going to get into him in a little bit, because he's a movie character, right? You could do something like, little things like this. So hopefully, I'm really hoping that after I can kind of understand with it coming up for Christmas and New Year's and everything, they're probably a little busy trying to do whatever little events they're going to try and do. I understand that, but I extremely hope, pardon the pun there, I really hope that they will continue to bring these out on a daily basis, or not a daily basis, at least a weekly basis, I would say. Maybe that's asking a little too much. That's just my personal opinion, though. Obviously, I'm not going to get, like, totally upset or anything if they don't do it, but it'd be nice, right? It's a nice little gesture. And again, you can farm those medals as long as you get up to a certain stage. This is not for someone who had just started the game, but if you've been playing for a while, then for the most part, we'll have to see how far we can go in it and everything like that. So the big question is, though, so I'm going to focus mainly on the original mono leaders themselves, because again, like I said, if they want to allow others to do it that are not just simply these mono leaders, and I can say, hey, by the way, again, the Tech Majin Vegeta using the Ultimate Gohan stage, farm those medals up, you can then, Extreme Z Awaken him and all that stuff. So the big 5 that we have left, essentially, are going to be the Full Power Frieza Physical, the Int Ultimate Gohan, the Tech Perfect Cell, the Strength Broly, and then the Strength Gogeta, technically. Technically, the Gogeta is part of that because he finished it out, right? Oh, actually, I take that back. Technically, Gohan finished out because Gohan came afterwards, and Frieza to my note. Yeah, I forgot. Global. I was thinking about Globals for a second. I was like, wait a minute. No, Global got Frieza, then Gogeta. And then, but JP got Gogeta, then Frieza, then Gohan. That's what I remember. So anyway, so bottom line though, how can these guys change, right? What exactly, can you do? We all know their leader skill will go to the normal 70% lead, right? Nothing special there. No one's gonna run Goku for a 70% lead. You can get one from the Baba shop. You have way better guys and all that stuff. But the big thing is gonna be the passive and the SA increase and the amount of damage they do. So I want to take a look at the remaining 5 that I just named, and let's see. I'm just gonna throw some suggestions and some guesses and everything like that. If you have some of your own that you have thought of personally, by all means leave them down in the comments below, and let's go ahead and take a look at them. So first off, I want to start with Ultimate Gohan personally because I actually have him up to SA10 and I have all 4 paths unlocked because of that blasted Super Vegito banner that would not drop another tube for me. So I got plenty of those guys, and to an extent the physical Go tanks and everything. But Ultimate Gohan, I think, is one that I really want to have happen. However, I don't think it's going to happen for a while, and I'll get into that in just one second. So, as you guys all know, Int Gohan if your key bar is 7 or higher, you will get +5 key, and your attack goes up 10,000, okay? As of right now, yeah, he can hit strong in a mono Int team, but 10,000 increase in the damage and in these percent leads and everything now, not exactly the greatest, right? We need that to turn to percent and everything. So what could I see Gohan potentially turning into? Well, for one, they better keep this at least. I can easily see the key gauge saying the same thing, right? Hit 7 key, you gain 5 key, which basically gives you a super attack, and then you're gonna get a plus increase. So I imagine that 10,000 right there, that 10,000 point bonus. It's not gonna turn to 10,000% or anything like that. But I could easily see it hitting 100% no problem. I can easily see that happening, and I think that would be perfectly fair. Because with the SA raise, we assume at least, because it happened with Super Saiyan 3 Goku, it's gonna go from Supreme to Immense. That jump to Immense with 100% damage is gonna be really nice right there. So obviously he won't again be the most hardest hitter on an Int team by any means the moment that happens. Oh, at least to my knowledge, at least. It could, maybe if they jump it up to 120, again, I'm not sure, but at least it'd be a huge improvement, because you have to admit that 10,000, that's child's play in this day and age. Back then, yes, that was amazing. Now, not so much. Just not so much, unfortunately. But the one thing I will say, though, is I don't know if they'll throw in some kind of other additive part to his passive. If you remember with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, they added that 70% defense when you got him to level 140 and everything like that, and then he gets 120% up for the 7 turns, which is the same thing. So they could potentially add something where, they say, okay, if your key bar goes up to 7, you get +5, you get the 100% attack up, and then maybe something like if you're facing more, one opponent or less, or 2 or less, kind of like Tech Bardock, or not Tech Bardock, the Mass Saiyan, then maybe you get an extra 100, or not 100%, an extra 50% up, and it could be something like that. So I'm not really sure. Again, it could be really interesting. They have a lot of flexibility here on how to change and everything, and kind of bring it back in line with the current cards that we have now. Now, I will say, though, I think Gohan is not on the horizon just yet, and the reason I'm saying that is because they are even though we haven't had Strength Gohan come back yet, I don't think they want to take away from Strength Gohan just yet, especially if he shows up in this next banner with the Int SSJ3 Bardock. That right there, I think they're going to be like, no, we can't do Gohan just yet, because if you think about it, the moment that Int Gohan gets updated, and if they make him even slightly as good as the SSJ3 Goku, I'm mostly referring to the Super Vegito team or any other team that can run the Gohan when he's not the leader. Obviously, as the leader, Strength Gohan is easily going to dominate over the Int Gohan if he gets that 70% increase and everything like that. But if he gets that update, that Extreme Z Awakening, like for example, again on the Super Vegito team, Strength's off. Strength is off. I don't care what you say, because Strength lacking those key links, except for Shocking Speed, which again on that team is mostly prepared for battle and over in a flash, Gohan cannot really be used on that team. That defensive ability of his in the guard is okay, but Int will steal that spotlight the moment he gets that boost, because all you gotta do is give him 1 or 2 key. Boom, you're good to go, and he gets his SA off. Problem solved, right? So that right there is why I think that Gohan will probably not happen until at least after year 3 celebration. So maybe March, April time, which I guess would go in terms with when he originally came out in JP. I think he came out in April here in JP about 2 years ago, give or take. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but I think he did. So that right there is why I think Gohan will not be around for quite a while until they, bring out a few more category leads, and they're like, oh, hey, by the way, Gohan's just simply another category lead. He's not one of the category leads right now. Again, we'll have to see. This is all speculation in the end. Again, leave your thoughts and comments down below about what are your speculations and everything like that. But next is going to be, I'm going to jump into Brawly real quick because I just want to get Brawly out of the way. I think Brawly will be last. Just pure and simple. I think Brawly is going to be last. We have LR Brawly, who is literally Strength Brawly and Physical Brawly mixed together. I will say right now, I just don't see it happening until at least the end of when they're doing the original monos and everything like that. I could be wrong, but again, I mean, they just gave us Raditz. I did a video on why Raditz is considered the 2nd or 3rd best, depending on your team, when using him in the World Tournament. Of course, testing still needs to be done on that still, but Strength Brawly is near the bottom of those cards right now. So yeah, it's ain't looking up too. It's not looking too well for the big guy right now. But again, we have LR Brawly. Even if you don't have him, bringing him along as a friend, using an item or two, bam, you wipe out the entire round right there, and you can move on to the next one for the World Tournament. So that's why I personally think that Brawly's not going to. They'll probably do the same thing, increasing his passive would just simply be maybe 70% attack up, and, you still get your defense lowered just because that's simply what it is. Attacking all enemies will be the same. Maybe they add the additional attack on there. Again, I'm not sure, but at that moment, it's just like, oh, so he's LR Brawly, but down a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing, personally, in my opinion. I don't know, again, what they're going to do with Brawly. They'll definitely keep the defensive, debuff there. But, we'll have to see in the end. So, the next 3 that I really want to get into, though, are going to be Tech Cell, Full Powered Frieza, and Gogeta. And I know this is running a little long, so I'm going to kind of wrap it up here with these 3. Frieza's an interesting one, because Frieza right now, he's still optimal on a physical team. And all he is that basically your attack goes up by 120% when you super attack. Okay, so that's a key thing. If you don't get the super attack off, you don't get the attack boost. So with Frieza, I'm hoping that they simply just increase it to immense damage. They keep the 120%, and then I hope that they add a defensive value to him. If they do that, full power Frieza, you're gonna go from amazing to super amazing. There's not really much to change for him, right? Except for adding an additional defensive buff to him. He's kind of like the SSJ3 Goku, right? SSJ3 Goku, besides the turn restriction, even now though it wasn't that bad, he was already really powerful for what he was. So with Frieza, we know he's still optimal on a physical team, so any boost he gets, I have a feeling he's going to be more on the defensive side of things and not really in the attack things. So 120%, that's still really strong. Right, you still have people like Tech SSJ3 Angel Goku who can do the exact same thing, except of course he does get that boost by getting those orbs. So maybe they'll add something like that in. It could be, it's really hard to say at this point, but I could easily see something like that and, basically be done with that. Next is going to be the Strength Gogeta. If Gogeta happens, I know a lot of people want that to happen. Again, I'm not really sure. Leader skill, though, I could easily see be a change to a rainbow leader, a 70% increase, you know, rainbow lead, or a 77, kind of like the Kid Gohan from the Super Battle Road and everything like that. So that'd be kind of cool right there. I already got a rainbow, so I'd be okay with that. Just get him up to SA15 and boom! It'd be a nice little rainbow lead for everybody like that. And I don't think he's not going to overtake into Gogeta. I think into Gogeta would still take, you know, so would still do more damage to him on a SSJ4 Gogeta team. Of course, I could be wrong, but the way I looked at his passive originally was like, okay, he gets plus 7,000 attack, so they'll probably change it to like a 70%, maybe 100 at the max, but into Gogeta I think would still dominate over him because, again, that's 120%. It's the same thing, higher stats, the whole 9 yards, but it at least bring him closer in line so that maybe if you don't have into Gogeta, you can still use STR Gogeta, who is already amazing on a Gogeta team, but then he's kind of up at that level, right? The only thing he wouldn't be doing is lowering the attack and defense, which it's cool for Gogeta, but at the same time, it's kind of like, is it really needed? The dude's already super powerful as it is, so I don't know. I would love to talk to the guy who makes some of these, you know, SA things like lowering defense, lowering attack, and all that stuff. Like, I love lowering attack, but whoever came up with greatly lowering defense, aside from the Brawly stage, yeah, dude, it does nothing. Seriously, like, either change the mechanics in the game for that, or, you know, just don't put it in there. But I'm getting off topic. So, anyway, so that's my predictions for the Strength Gogeta. Just a simple increase in the attack and everything, like, which I guess in the end, most of these guys are like that the more I think about it. But for someone like Frieza, we could easily see more of a defensive value towards him and not simply an attack increase, which I would personally prefer. So, and then the last one, though, this last one is really hard for me to kind of pinpoint, and it's Tech Cell. Because Tech Cell is a nuker. For every orb he collects, he gets 12% attack and defense. How do you really change that? Like, or, you know, improve it or anything like that, besides just simply saying, okay, we're going to increase it by, you know, up to 20% or something like that for each of these, which would be extremely ridiculous. I would see more of a 15% the more I think about it, but it's just like, what do you add to him, right? He gets the attack boost and the defensive boost, unless they change, you know, actually, the more I think about it now, they could add something into his super attack where he, because right now he just simply does damage. Maybe they do it where he greatly lowers attack or something like that, which I think would be really cool and add to his tankiness. Or they don't change his passive at all, aside from the SA going to immense damage. They don't change the passive at all, but then in the super attack, they allow him to lower attack. That would be pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. So I'll really bring some relevance back to some of these guys. I've actually been using Tech Cell in the current Extreme Battle or Extreme Z Awakening and everything like that, and he's needed for that for the most part. Strength Cell just can't take a hit obviously against agility, but again, it would be interesting to see what they do with that. You know, will they actually try to go more original where it's like, okay, for this guy we change his passive and we increase it to immense damage. This guy we're going to take it, you know, he doesn't do anything with his SA, but we're going to now lower attack. This guy only has an attack, but now we're going to add a defensive value. You know, the whole, you know, there are endless possibilities, I think, or, you know, within the realm of Dokkan at least. But I hope they do something like that, and it'd be really cool to see. So, I'm sorry this video went a little long, guys, but those are just my personal thoughts when it comes to what they could potentially do as long as they, you know, keep bringing it out every few weeks or so, right? Give us about 2 weeks or so when it goes on to the normal rotation that all the other Dokkan events are on everything. Bring out the next one, right? Make sure you keep this cycle going, and it will keep people's interest, and people will keep coming, and it'll be really nice. So, we'll have to see like that. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. As always, leave a like if you like the video. Subscribe if you happen to be new. Until next time, everyone, I will see you in the next one.